Hi everyone and welcome to WBEL. I just wanted to take the time to make a quick shout out here to our buddy Kayson for his implication for the WOD community. It is something that I wanted to do since the end of Season 3, but since I was always in a rush to release new videos, I kept forgetting. Why WDL in particular? Well, it's because if it weren't for WDL, there will be no WBEL today. Cheesy and I had the immense pleasure to participate in the Season 3, and we had so much fun in it that we had to create our only to continue to get this adrenaline rush that those leagues generate. And man, if we thought that we knew how much time consuming those projects are, we were wrong. So now we can only be even more grateful for what our favorite content creators do for the community. All being said, thank you Kayson, the world needs you and I continue to enjoy the rest of your well-deserved break. Also, it is imperative to me to give another special shout out to our dear GB79. For those who doesn't know, GB has been organizing manual tournaments for a while now, and this even if he didn't add the time to participate. Honestly, this is huge for the community. It gives an opportunity to all of those manual junkies to test their skill in the friendliest community we could find. I will link his channel in the description, so please don't hesitate to join and to participate. Don't worry about your level. Even if you end up losing, your opponents are there to give you tips and help you progress. So, final word, thank you GB, thank you a lot. And for your next tournament, if you don't see Cheese's name in it, please take the time to write to this scaredy cat and force him to subscribe in it. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. Hi everyone and welcome back to WBEL. Here we have the Enthusiast division. In first place we have Jesus LBL with 3 points. With 2 points we have Itoman PR, GB79, Sen Rooster and Shadow91. With 1 point we have Cheesy, Isvar, Kayson and Ram9. So let's not wait any longer and let's see how those games went.
For this matchup we have Itoman PR versus Shadow91. For both of these players, it was hard for me to just choose one team. I think they both have very strong compositions they could use, but for Itoman PR, if I was going to go with one team, you know it's going to be the King Bradley. So I'm going to say King Bradley, Little Leela, and Phoebe. I think King Bradley should have enough time to get off his own haste on this map, so I don't think he has to rely on Murmur to give it to him. And I think having the Little Leela as a tank instead of Murmur will be more valuable to soak in some of that incoming damage. Otherwise, King Bradley hasted, quickened with Phoebe. You know how this story goes. I think that's a really strong comp. From Shadow91, I'm going to go with the Perrine, Tifa, Grace. It's very tempting for me to say Perrine, Eliza, Uni, given how much I like missile units on this map, but I think Tifa could be a good hedge against King Bradley if he does decide to bring it. Not saying that she'll stop him in his tracks, but she might be a good speed bump. And I think Perrine, once again, is an amazing unit, and so I think running those two together will be very strong with Grace as a good support. So let's get into the match and see what these two players chose.
Alright everyone, so match number 1 from the Enthusiast division, we have Itoman PR against Shadow91. So on Itoman's side we have Rachis, Miranda and Little Leela. On Shadow91's side we have Perrine, Velis and Uni. So let's see how it went. From the start, unfortunately for Itoman, there's no mage except of Velis, so I think it's not the comp he expected.
Yeah, probably not the comp he expected, but getting a silence on Velis would do wonders in making sure that the damage that Miranda and Rachis do stay as damage, because Velis, his heals are just ridiculous, haste is ridiculous, Velis is ridiculous. And then Uni getting some early damage in, just trying to really kick off the match, making sure that Little Leela does not get any sort of haste or CT manipulation. going, but not like she was really going for that.
I feel like he bring that Lila anyway because first she's really tanky, she has a low cost, and also the healing down. Because we talked, I know that it was the team that he expected, and probably since he expected Velis, he wanted a unit that could shut down that healing.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times when I see Little Leela, I focus so hard on that silence, but not disrespecting the fact that she's just a good tanky unit for the cost. She is one of those, you know, premium 50 cost units in this format. So, yeah.
Arrow fall on everyone. That's going to be big because there's a Miranda on the other side.
Yeah, that's huge.
So Shadow, Vortex Kick, not much damage on that Leela, but I think at least it's expected because she is really tanky against Strike. Oh wow, yeah, that was a lot of damage coming on that Perrine. So now Velis, no healing, that's going to be reduced to nothing. And nearly killed that Miranda. At least for Shadow, that sleep didn't proc, so now she's going to counter. Oh, a lot of damage, so it's really not... the basic attack from Uni. Reflex. Silence a spell on the Velis.
Oh, okay.
That's huge.
That is huge. So what was looking really bad for Ito is now it's now looking pretty close.
Yeah, both units are pretty low, but at least they can pack a punch. Oh, okay, courage! Dispelling Trust, not enough to kill that Perrine though. Heal back, still 5k, that's huge, and she has a lot of AP, and she has also AoEs.
Oh,
okay, re-raise on that Righteous. Okay. So that Velis is still silenced. Oh, basic attack killing that Righteous, oh no! And I don't think, unfortunately, that Leela has the damage.
I don't think so either, but I've been wrong before. Oh,
nope.
I gave her a chance, alright?
Whoosh, okay, that was a nice fight.
Yeah, that was a really close match all the way up until the end there. Once again, it looks like a blowout on Ito Man's side all the way up until that silence on the Velis, and then just at that moment, it started looking even again. So that was really close from both sides. Yeah, I believed.
And that Velis found a way to be useful even if he was silenced.
That's very true. That final auto attack to finish off the Righteous, I don't know if she could have one-shot the Perrine, but she definitely would have had enough damage to make it close. Because she was doing some serious damage. I think she the first hit did around 6,000 to 7,000. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her be able to finish off the Perrine at that time.
Well, what will be the key of the match?
Oh man, that's hard. Like I said, I guess it would probably be the man. There's just too much good stuff.
Let's say Perrine and leave it at that.
I could. That'd be my simplest answer, I guess.
I think that Perrine was a lot of time close to death, but was always still hanging on with like 1 or 2k HP. I think that the reincarnation did their job.
Yeah, I think once again, I think the entire team just kind of worked as a very well-oiled machine. Perrine was every unit kind of did their role the way that they were supposed to.
Yeah.
Velis got their haste online, was able to keep them alive, and Perrine being that frontline unit, tanking the damage and putting out some serious damage from her end is just, I don't know, it all worked. That's why it was hard to find the key of the match, because it was all just kind of worked the way it should have. Yeah.
So the key of the match for you is synergy. Boom!
I know, boring, but you know what? I'll take it.
Alright, GG to both players, it was really entertaining.
GG to both players. Alright, so for this matchup we have JB79 versus Chisei. On JB79's side, I'm going to predict and hope that he brings Summer Jaden, Charisse, and Marielle. The reason why I say I hope is because I'm also going to be bringing Summer Jaden and Marielle, but for the third I'm going to use Naya instead. I think because this is a missile favored map, take a shot every time you hear me say that, I wouldn't be surprised to see Summer Jaden and Charisse come out from JV79. That also being said, I wouldn't be really surprised to see much of any of his other team comps coming out. I don't really have a lot of strong elemental counters to a lot of his roster, so I think he's pretty free to kind of use whatever he wants to use. So I'm excited to see what he brings. Let's get into the match and see what happens.
Alright, so now we have JB79 against Cheese. Funny enough, we have both Mariel on both sides and both Jadens on both sides. and on GB side we have McLeod, on Cheese's side we have Naya. So let's see how it went.
I absolutely love that this happened. It wasn't planned, but if I could have planned it, I definitely would have. I mean, aside from the fact that, you know, I'm running wind, he's running ice, so this is gonna be a rough one for me. Let's just put it at that. But coming out from JB's side, we have the Spirit synergy and the Ice synergy with McLeod and Jaden the Celebrated, and Mariel going straight off the bat, dealing some damage over to McLeod.
I'm curious about is Mariel's starting position.
Yeah, I actually wanted her to draw aggro because I didn't see a whole lot of buffs I really wanted to get off. I mostly wanted to disrupt his buffs as soon as I could, and when I run Mariel, I like doing that. That's one of my favorite strategies.
Oh, but big damage coming on that Mariel.
He didn't need a lot of buffs to be able to deal that kind of damage, so that was unfortunate for me.
And that reflect won't help her.
Not at all.
So I hope
bad start for me.
I really hope that your Naya can tank.
She's gonna do her best.
So Banishka on the Naya, CD up coming from her, so I think she's going to heal herself at this point. But the next turn is Jaden the Celebrated, but I think it's pretty far. Oh, so full life instead. Oh, interesting. So life and Lance nearly killed her. Okay, so that's big because she's still able to tank for at least one turn. So now is your Jaden. Oh, Sparkle Shower. Oh wow, that's impressive. Very low damage. I know that Jaden's Celebrated's not recognized for his magic tanking, so that was huge. Of course, there's also the elemental advantage. So now we have a Cure, Mariel next, Mind Crusher. Oh, Mind Crusher killing that Naya. Not looking good for you, my friend.
Definitely not. Like I said, from the beginning, it was already an uphill climb with the 2 ice units, but it's actually gone a lot better than I expected it to so far. So,
so not enough damage on that Mariel, and now Jaden's done, unfortunately. I really hope that she's able to one-shot those those 2.
Not both. But the other Mariel, yes.
Oh.
Yep, with 1 AP left, finishing off my Mariel. So, like I had mentioned from the beginning, I knew it was a long shot, but I was just hoping, at that point, once I saw the matchup, I was just kind of hoping it wouldn't be a blowout. So, at the very least, I was able to take out a couple of units, but man, his Jaden was impressive. Not only taking a bunch of my damage, but dealing massive damage himself. So, yeah, JV's team was very well built, able to really just take care of all my units with ease.
Was it the team that you expected?
Not at all. I mean, granted, I was pretty dead set on running this team regardless, but I would have expected him to choose this team, especially on this map with very good ranges for missile units. And he has 2 strong missile units in his lineup. I would have expected him to bring those, but no, he went with the ice comp instead, and it clearly worked out for him.
Yeah, he probably went big brain and saw what was your most expected missile unit, and only set up a team to counter it.
Yep. And honestly, if he chose missile, I think he would have won. And if he chose this team, he obviously won. I didn't have a lot of great options here. But that's yeah, JV not only drafted a great team, but played a great game. So GG's to him for sure.
Yeah, GG to him. It was still close. It was really a great fight there.
Yep, closer than I expected. So.
All right, so let's see the next match.
Yep. For this matchup, we have San Rooster versus Jesus LBL. So normally I do the predictions from left to right, but let's just get this over with. I'm going to predict Bart's, Warrior of Light, and Uni for Jesus LBL. It's a strong comp. I don't need to say much more. We've seen how well it does, but I will just note that I think it's especially good for this map. Uni being able to have that high ground, Bart's being able to stand near him to do his follow-up buff, and Warrior of Light to be able to be separate from the team and tank. I think that's just really strong for this map. So the main question I wanted to tackle is what do I think San Rooster is going to bring against that potential comp? And I'm leaning towards Howl at the Heaven's Blade, Agrius, and Silma. I think having your tank be separate from the rest of your team to be able to mitigate any sort of collateral damage is going to be really key to make sure your team just doesn't get absolutely obliterated by that combo. So I chose the lower cost tank in Agrius versus Dwayne, and then I also chose Howl at the Heaven's Blade to kind of hedge in case Jesus does decide to bring out the Edward Elric or the Gargus to have that elemental advantage. Well, let's get into the match and see what they brought.
Alright, so we have San Rooster against Jesus. So on San Rooster's side we have Silma, Cecil, and Elena. On Jesus' side we have Murmur, Whisper, and Sephiroth. So let's see how it went.
Really interesting team comp coming out from San Rooster's side. I might be wrong, but I think it's going to be a very high evade route coming out from the Elena and Cecil, getting some of the light VCs for the evade. And I don't know, that could be a really interesting comp. But on the other side, there is a Sephiroth, which, man, that is the one unit you probably do not want to see with this comp. So that Octaslash, I think one of the things that San Rooster's got to be betting on or really hoping for in this match is that Sephiroth does not land that Octaslash on both Cecil and Elena this match. Because if he gets both, then that's probably game right there. But let's see how it goes, because let's see how much damage we can get done to this Whisper, because that could also really determine how this match goes. Because if they can't get past the Whisper in the first place, then that will also be game. So San Rooster's got a lot of obstacles to climb, but I mean, we've seen him do it in the past, so I wouldn't doubt to see it right now.
Yeah, but that's going to be very difficult for San Rooster because Whisper is a great slashing tank, and I don't think he expected that Sephiroth. If yes or no, please leave a comment. Because yeah, his team doesn't have any guaranteed hit nullify, and now we have a Sephiroth on the other side, so it's going to be really tough for him.
Yeah, and we saw that Cecil just removed the protect, but then Whisper went ahead and reapplied it right then and there, so I don't know. Is it going to be this infinite loop of reapplying Protect? And she also regen the health right back, so it's, like I said, it's going to be hard. Hopefully we can get some light chains going. But Sephiroth is also grouped right there with the Whisper, so maybe we can also get some AoEs down too.
I hope
yeah,
for
like
that person that it's going to be a quick match, because there's only 3% remaining on his phone. Okay, so there was a first hit on Sephiroth, very low damage. Of course, Whisper wasn't able to hit the enemy team, so now we have Elena, or LB. I hope for him that it's going to be a big damage, because otherwise it's going to be really difficult. Oh, so Sephiroth's tanking it pretty well, unfortunately for him. Let's hope that it's not going to go for his LB.
Well, like I said, this is the worst case scenario. Let's see if it one-shots both. Okay, just the Cecil, which isn't the worst.
But Whisper is still standing, and Elena already used her only AoE, so it's going to be very difficult from now on. So Thundera, low damage still, and Kira. Oh, that's pretty big. That's most than I anticipated from a Kira. Oh, so Elena is down. Alright.
Yeah, that was another guaranteed hit, so it's unfortunate.
But that team is very evady, but I don't think that he expected that Sephiroth, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I said, without the Sephiroth, this would have been an entirely different game. I don't
Yeah.
know if there would have been enough accuracy to be able to hit any of his units, but Sephiroth is the known evade killer, so it's it was definitely a hard match for San Rooster off the get go.
Yeah, no, that I think about it, it's a missile map, so I'm pretty sure that he expected Bart's combo. But yeah, I really like this team too by Jesus. It's the sustain is really there.
Oh yeah, this team is absolutely disgusting. Actually, and funny enough, I talked about this exact team with San Rooster, and we agree that this team is disgusting. So yeah, complete just GG's. Good game for both players. Fun match to watch. Like I said, it would have been a completely different match if not for that Sephiroth.
Yeah.
But because he was there, he does the Sephiroth thing.
Yeah, I think only Sustain was able to give him the win, because Elena wasn't able to do that much damage, and since he had one big healer in the back, unfortunately for him, the damage wasn't there too. So yeah, I would say that Sephiroth was the key of the match for his Sustain.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with the boring key of the match, but it's the Octaslash. Like I said, it removes the courage, it one-shot the Cecil, brought Elena a little below half. It's kind of hard to really have a turning point besides that one. So that's gonna be my key of the match.
Perfect. So GG to both players.
Yeah, GG to both players, and congrats to Jesus.
Yes.
All right, for this matchup, we have Iceheart versus Isvar. On Iceheart's side, I'm predicting the Elia Rundall, Miranda, and Murmur. We've seen it before, but I think Elia getting quickened and hastened by both Murmur and Miranda, and just raining down Hellfire from above is just a really strong strategy. That also, taking into account that Isvar has the little Leela, I think going very heavy into a magic composition would be very risky. So I do like the Elia Rundall here. For Isvar, I'm actually predicting a Summer Helena, Little Leela, and Valade comp. I think Summer Helena is a good DPS since she's not countered by any Earth over on Iceheart's side aside from the Murmur. Little Leela, and once again being that threat of having that silence right there to be able to shut down most or all of Iceheart's team is very threatening. Too threatening to not bring, in my opinion, and she's also a tank. And then also having Valade there to be able to give ice resistance, protect, and once again the other litany of buffs that he has. I think that's just a very strong composition right there. So let's get into the match and see what they ended up bringing.
Alright, so here we have Isvar against Iceheart. So on Isvar's side we have Olde, Bradley, and Valade. On Iceheart's side we have Murmur, Alaya, and Miranda. So let's see how it went.
Alright, so over from Iceheart's side, we have the missiles, we have the Elia, we have Miranda for the quicken, we have Murmur for the haste. We've seen it before, it's this really strong comp, and I've said it on this map many times, it's really good for missile. So I think it's a really smart call from Iceheart. And then over on Isvar's side, we have the old showing again, which I'm always a fan to see. Always want to see it do well. And then Bradley, once again, if old doesn't do well, Bradley definitely will. He's always guaranteed to put up some numbers. So I also like this team. The ice vitalization coming out. I always forget. Does that give an ice resist buff or just an ice attack buff? I missed
ice resist and protect.
And ice. Oh man. Yeah, that is rough to see from Iceheart's side. Then it'll be hard to get through this with both the elemental disadvantage against old and the ice resistant protect. But I mean, we'll see how it does with the first damage coming out here.
Yeah, but both units will be the 3 units will be hasted, and yeah, it's what I thought. Bradley better going to receive a heal soon, or otherwise it's going to be difficult. And here we have All Day that's using illusion, I think, instead of shield, so he's not going to be as tanky as he should be. Oh wow.
Oh,
man, that's already down, didn't have time to cast her courage, unfortunately. So now we have Alayak going next, probably to finish off. Oh no, reflex coming from
Oh, that's really unfortunate. And Bradley, well, Murmur gets to go next. So maybe Murmur can finish the job that Elia wasn't able to there.
Oh, Oldie have just a little bit more than 50% of his health, so he didn't receive a heal, unfortunately. Wasn't able to reach at Bradley too. Oh, but now we have... Oh, yeah, you see?
Oh, she gets to go again. She gets to go before Bradley.
Oh, full
so
life.
there's still a chance. And oh my goodness. Let's see if she goes for the ult again.
Yeah, I was going to say that the armor, the fact that he didn't proc it was bad for him, but armor blower, I think it's removing the barrier anyway, so I think he would have died anyway.
That makes sense.
So he'll be coming from Maya. Let's see if the immobilize proc. Yes.
It did. Okay, that could be big.
Yes, because I don't think it has that much range.
Yeah, but she's only, I think, like 3 squares away, so it should be enough.
Oh, okay, EM.
Okay.
So if soft job saved him for the damage. So sweetheart, armor bar again. Yeah.
Oh, big damage. Wow, Iceheart's turning this around unless...
Oh, that's so close.
It's down to the last hit. And wow. What looks catastrophic for Iceheart in the beginning was she was able to turn it around right at the end there. It's incredible.
After the fight, Isvar told me that he forgot to... he don't know why, probably because of the past reliquary. So he switched for the samurai job for the reliquary, but he forgot to set it back for this duel. And unfortunately for him, and instead of going a little bit forward and cast his shield, he went for the illusion buff, so he couldn't go a little bit more forward, which would have been a deal breaker for this match. Unfortunately for Isvar, it cost him the match, as we can see.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate to have a loss due to something like that, but you know, it's just one of those things that you just take into the next match and remember for next time.
Yeah, of course. So GG's both players, and congratulations to Iceheart.
Yeah, GG's and congrats to Iceheart. For this matchup, we have Ram9 versus Kason. For Ram9's side, I'm going to predict Alphonse, Velna, and Sosha. It was hard to find a team comp that I was very comfortable with choosing against a potential missile comp from Kason, but the best I could come up with was the one that I chose. I'm hoping that Alphonse would be able to soak a couple of hits from a Jaden or a Lucia to be able to give the Velna and Sosha time to close the gap. And I chose Velna and Sosha as the DPS, one because Velna shares the element with Alphonse, and then Sosha is able to kind of help cover in case Kason decides to do something like bring his Axe comp again, and it has the tanky Moraga and Durando. From Kason's side, my prediction's pretty straightforward. I'm going to predict Jaden, Lucia, and Titus. I think Titus would be an interesting tank. He's bad against magic and a lot of other things, but he's good against pierce attacks, which Ram9 has 4 different spear units. So building Titus against pierce could be a very clutch option, or at the very least just a body to tank up some damage while Jaden and Lucia do their thing from the high ground. Let's get into the match and see what these players chose.
Alright, so here we have Kason against Ram9. So on Kason's side we have Lucia, Vega, and Shuzo. And on Ram9's side we have Surges, Glaciella, and Velna. So it is a Pierce team against this team. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, a very interesting team comp coming out from Ram9. I love seeing the all spear team, and I am really excited to see how it plays out. I'm pretty curious because, like I said, from Kason's side, we have the double electric comp with Shoot Stealth and Vega. We know how strong both of those units can be, and with Lucia up on the high ground being able to put out some range damage, I see this being a very strong composition from Kason. So, but once again, not to count out Ram9, we've seen that Glaciella put in some work. And, you know, having a full spear team, getting that full spear synergy could, I don't know, like could be a very strong team coming out from Ram9. So don't want to discount it yet. I just want to see how it goes.
That's a strange synergy coming from Kason. You'll have to explain this in the comments.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just the double lightning and then having Lucia from the high ground being able to put out some range damage. I think that's, hey, she doesn't need VCs if she can, you know, just put out some status effects and just some nice chip damage.
Oh!
Oh! Okay, well.
I didn't know that Villeneuve was able to do so much damage.
Me either. I mean, she's so... Oh! Never. I didn't expect that much damage from the Lucia either. This is just a lot of damage all around.
And Glaciela's dead. Of course, it was to be expected since she's a water element. So just a lot of damage too on that Schulze. And devastated Ren. Oh, he's dead.
Man.
That's big. Well, that went fast.
Yeah, that was a quick match, and Lucia just dancing on on Surgis's grave at this moment. Well, not quite. Just a little bit of health left. But yeah, that was quick.
What a showcase from Kaysan.
Yeah, he was very clearly in the driver's seat ever since that first Nighthawk came out from Ram 9.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
So you said that it was oppressive?
Yeah, that too. Impressive and oppressive coming out from Kaysan's side.
So we could say that the key of the match was this disable at the end.
Oh yeah, that definitely turned the fight at the end. Sergej was about to 3v1 right there.
Oh man, it started really well for Ram 9 with a big one shot on the Schuzolt, but afterwards it really escalated quickly.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, we saw the huge damage coming out from Velna, and then the huge damage returned back from Schutzeld and Vega and the Lucia. So it was just a high octane, large damage on both sides. It just was unfortunate that it seemed like Kaysan's side got the damage out first, so Glaciela never got a chance to really do anything, and yeah, the fight was over just as soon as it started.
I don't know why, but after the fight, Kaysan said that Ram 9 disrespected his team.
I don't know why either.
Maybe bringing water against his lightning team.
Yeah, it has to be. I think his team is probably pretty undercosted, because I think Velna is only like around 70 or 60, and Surgis is 30, and Glaciel is 80, so that's probably like a 170, 180 team.
I thought that Villeneuve was 30.
I wouldn't be surprised. I've never seen her used ever. If you told me she was 40, I would believe you. Like I said, I wanted to see a little bit more of that spear comp happen. I mean, the one thing that we did see happen was a full damage cap of 12,000 damage coming out from Ram 9, but almost everything after that, Glaciel didn't get that chance to really do much of anything, and Surgis did only get the one hit off as well. So yeah, that was some serious damage being put out from Kaysan's side. It was just a good showcase of all those units.
So never mind me, Kaysan. You don't have to explain anything. I think we saw what your team can do. I mean, how much damage did that Lucia did even without the VC support?
Yeah, if there was no VC support, that was impressive, because I think Lucia did about 5,000 damage still.
Okay, I think the key of the match was a synergy.
Boo. Man, yeah, I guess my key of the match, like I said, that first, I think it was Vega coming in, and I think he just did like 9,000 damage or something, took out the Glaciela and almost took out the Velna. That moment forward, the match was kind of over, so yeah, that definitely would have been my key of the match.
Well, that's a very scary team. I'm really relieved that he's in the Enthusiast division.
I'm glad my match with him is already over.
Perfect. So GG to both players, and well, congrats to Kaysan.
Yep, GG's to both players.
Alright, so we had another very exciting week. Now here's the standings. So still undefeated, we have Jesus LBL with 4 points. With 3 points we have GB79 and Shadow91. With 2 points we have Idoman PR, Kaysan, and Sen Rooster. With 1 point we have Esvar, Chize, Iceart, and Rem9. Again, thank you to all the players for participating, and thanks to all the viewers for sticking with us. Don't hesitate to leave a good word if you like the content. We're always really happy to read you. And don't hesitate to join our Discord. We're always happy when people are sharing their experience of the game in it. So that's it for this week, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day.
Yeah, you two, dude. Good luck. Maybe not. Okay, let's see. Oh no, crap. This could be pretty bad. Oh no, I think she's toast. Oh no, this isn't good. Oh no. Ouch. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was absolutely ugly.